This is a story, Watch It Go, from the treasured book. Talk about it. What makes things move? Find out more about things that go at www.mcmillian.mh.com. Words to know: shout, ball, laughter, head, perhaps, should, meadow, never, try, and fly. Read to find out. What do you think helps little calf hit the ball? It's little calf. See the ball fly. Little calf is up at bat. His mom and dad are calling to him. You can do it, little calf, they shout. Little calf swings the bat, but he misses the ball. He hears some laughter and put his head down. Perhaps I should not be at bat, he thinks. Perhaps in Spanish is quizás. Then he says, I'll just do my best. On his next try, little calf hits the ball. He sees it fly over the meadow. I've never done that before, he says, as he runs to each base. Remember, there is a construction that says I've is actually meaning I have never. Instead of saying I have never, says I've never done that before. For reading comprehension purposes, a fantasy. This story genre is the kind of a story that we're going to read. There is non-fiction, is when something is real. Fantasy or fiction is a made-up story that could not really happen. You visualize the problem and solution as you read. Use your problem and solution chart. Somebody wanted but so. What happened first, what happened second, what happened at last, what characters are involved in the story, how will Frog and Toad fly the kite? And the story actually named, the title is The Kite, from Days with Frog and Toad, and is written by Arnold Nobel. Frog and Toad went out to fly a kite. They went to a large meadow. A meadow is like a small river, where the wind was strong. Our kite will fly up and up, said Frog. It will fly all the way up to the top of the sky. Toad, said Frog, I will hold the ball of string. You hold the kite and run. Toad ran across the meadow. He ran as fast as his short legs could carry him. The kite went up in the air. It fell to the ground with a bump. Toad heard laughter. 3 robins were sitting in a bush. That kite will not fly, said the robins. You might as well give up. Toad ran back to Frog. Frog, said Toad, this kite will not fly. I give up. We must make a second try, said Frog. Wave the kite over your head. Perhaps that will make it fly. Toad ran back across the meadow. He waved the kite over his head. The kite went up in the air and then fell down with a thud. What a joke, said the robins. That kite will never get off the ground. Toad ran back to Frog. This kite is a joke, he said. It will never get off the ground. We have to make a third try, said Frog. Wave the kite over your head and jump up and down. Perhaps that will make it fly. Toad ran across the meadow again. He waved the kite over his head. He jumped up and down. The kite went up in the air and crashed down into the grass. That kite is junk, said the robins. Throw it away and go home. Toad ran back to Frog. This kite is junk, he said. I think we should throw it away and go home. Toad, said Frog, we need one more try. Wave the kite over your head, jump up and down, and shout, Up, kite, up! Toad ran across the meadow. He waved the kite over his head. He jumped up and down. He shouted, Up, kite, up! The kite flew into the air. It climbed higher and higher. We did it, cried Toad. Yes, said Frog. If a running try did not work, and a running and waving try did not work, and a running, waving, and jumping try did not work, I knew that a running, waving, jumping, and shouting try just had to work. The robins flew out of the bush, but they could not fly as high as the kite. Frog and Toad sat and watched their kite. It seemed to be flying way up at the top of the sky. And the end of that story, the author and the writer of that story, author is the writer of that story to read it together, Arnold Lobel's story. Arnold Lobel was often sick and missed many days of school when he was young. When he went back to school, he made friends by telling stories and drawing pictures. Many years later, Lobel's children liked to catch frogs and toads. Arnold Nobel loved the animals and wrote about them in his Frog and Toad stories. He was a student at the school and he loved to read books. The purpose of the author in writing wanted to write about good friends, write about your friends and tell how you help each other. Have a good day.